Hello, guys. We're gonna go into this episode, and unfortunately, we recorded this episode, and it was absolutely incredible. It was one out of three with over an hour and a half of content, and I met with Barney and Sam, and it was such an incredible conversations that we had. We talked about lockdown, working through lockdown, and then we just started talking a little bit about, dating and, approaching. What's the feeling when it comes to approaching on the street and just speaking to women around? Because everybody's not dependent on going on to dating websites and Tinder and stuff. And usually it's because of the security of the fact that you don't have to actually make the cold approach to somebody. And I think with from where Sam was coming from, like he's actually quite right that it's sometimes when you cold approach, it can have a negative impact on the other person you're approaching. And then I think Barney had a different perspective to it, where he talked about that sometimes it's easier to just have a conversation, and I think from where he was coming from is similar to where I was coming from, where you lower your bar in terms of what you really want. Yes, it's a male to female interaction in terms of you possibly thinking that you might end up in a relationship, but if you take it step by step and actually build a vibe, so we as we addressed it, a vibe is when you just have those social juices glowing and you feel the most confident, you feel your body language is quite fluid, you're not feeling nervous, and the conversation is just flowing. So that's what we were talking about, and unfortunately we lost part of the footage, which was absolutely horrible. And I'm just hoping that now we can meet again and have similar conversations. And I know it would have been better to publish that, but now I also had a retrospective ideas that came up afterwards. So, and I'm assuming that they had the same. So I'm assuming the next episode will be just as powerful, if even better content. So the way we deliver it, and it was absolutely amazing. And the other thing was, we had tried to improve the sound situation. So in terms of the sound situation, I think I've ordered another mic in order to get the better sound. So hopefully by the next time we go for another episode, we'll have another mic, so that everybody's got their mic and we can hear the other guys clear. The Sam and Barney were sharing a mic, so I can hear that their voices are not as clear as I was. And I was cringing a little bit because I did laugh into the mic and it sounded so horrible. So bear with us. The whole interaction is about approaching, and really what's the strategy of actually doing it. The strategy is actually you being social, not just with women but with everyone, and just working on those social juices going. So thank you very much, guys. Just get into this episode and I hope you like it. We will be redoing this episode again, but this is a little bit of a taste of what when we covered actually. So thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care. Welcome to the Men of Border podcast. My name is Corey, your host, and we're going to be talking about approaching. And this is an interesting one because this is from past experience. I used to coach men how to pick up women, and I've got Sam and Barney with me, and we're going to be talking about this interesting one because, yeah, it's 2020. What are guys doing in order to meet girls? And yeah.
So, off air, we had a bit of a conflict in the sense of, I think, my view on it is that, so no one knows you anytime in this life, whatever sort of angle you're coming from. So for me, I personally, so I talk to, I'm not just going to completely ignore people when I'm out and about, I'll talk to people if there's a point of comment, something silly happens, or that, they do something daft, or, they trying to make light of it. Stuff like that I'm more than happy to do. However, in the sense of, that traditional means of approaching someone, so going with sole intent to, speak to someone, and, just trying, I guess in the sense of trying to get something out of it, for me, I personally don't think I could ever do that. Not from the view of not feeling socially able to, in the sense of that might make that person feel uncomfortable. You don't know that person's group. You know, that person might have had bad experiences with guys, or anyone in general approaching them in the past. And for me, the weight of that outweighs my own personal gain from that. If that person owes me nothing, so why should I invade on them my Brakuri smile now because he's going, like, you haven't thought about it like this. But for me, that is always going to outweigh that. I don't think I could ever, approach someone going, I want to get this person's number, I want to take this person out. For me, I'd rather relationships form organically rather than forcing it.
And you don't want it to go wrong. You don't want it to. You want it to happen, like you say, organically.
Organically, yeah.
If there is a chance, they might go no.
Do you know what? For me, that doesn't. I guess that comes into a little bit. They might, I've got a boyfriend, and you just look like that mug that's come out of their way.
No, but you don't want it to go. The chance of it going wrong, because of previous experiences. That's there
that as well.
So they might just go, and that then ruins it. There's never a but it's. And you don't know that. That's not.
Yeah. But for me, I'm not thinking. What weighs more heavily for me is that sense of making them feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's not just being overly anxious to not make others uncomfortable.
But from personal experience is that when you do approach with the mindset that she's attractive, I could potentially ask her out, usually backfires. She's most likely going to tell you I've got a boyfriend or whatever. But if your intentions are to say hello and find out how a day is going, and you genuinely feel that way.
Really care?
No, you do. I think
really care?
you.
They have to be attracted then if you're just saying hello.
No, it's the fact. I think part of it is what I'm trying to say, that you have to lower your bar in terms of your expectation, and by lowering your bar, that's what created success in terms of picking up actually a girl on the street. Because the moment I'm going for the number, or I'm like, I need to get her number, she senses that there's an ulterior motive. There is an ulterior motive. She knows that the fact, out of all the women that are around, no,
you're going in with an agenda.
she knows I'm there to ask around, but it's the social pressure that if I can reduce the social pressure, it will have a better interaction. Whether she's got a boyfriend or not, you can actually leave the interaction in a way that she feels good about herself, and I feel, like at least I've tried my best. Because there's this, we use 6 degrees of separation where we meet people based on the people that we know and friends, and that's been common amongst a lot of people in nowadays. But there are opportunities to actually meet somebody that is outside of a social circle, and that we.
I don't want it to feel as though I'm completely, because I'm very conflicted in this, in the sense of one side of me is going, right, Sam, I love connecting with people, I buzz off of that, and especially now as well, past couple of months for me, I feel as though I've really, until the past 2 months, I've never really had a real confidence without an ego. I've had a confidence before.
Yeah.
But that's always come with an ego, a sense of, because you met with someone else, or I'll look at someone and judge them based on whatever it might be. There's still things that I need to work on. However, I just feel as though for me, in the past couple months, that confidence come back, but without that other connotation to it. So part of me is like, I love connecting with people in any which way. However, the agenda side of it, going in with I'm just saying hello to you, but why am I just saying hello to someone I find attractive? You talk about pressure, that social pressure, trying to reduce it. Yes, there are things you can do. However, what seems acceptable for you in terms of the amount of social pressure, for someone else that might be terrifying.
Yeah.
That might be, they're going to go home and crawl up in bed. Because some guys,
there is a chance that she might be. There's always
a chance. Maybe that would be a missed opportunity. However, it's not as though there's no other opportunity for you to meet people. You can find someone with a common interest, whether that be through the book group, whether that be through someone that mixing work and as you shouldn't, but you know, it's quite often a source for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It could be whatever. Finding someone with something you do, you could go to an arts class or these kinds of things. And at least in that situation, you're coming in at an angle where actually probably that intent is genuine, because you know that person sat next to me in art class or pottery class, wherever it might. I don't go to many pottery classes. However,
you should. The next goes.
Let's make a day.
Let's make it. Pottery goes.
Every while. Trust me. Yeah, don't. You should see Crew of his hand motion right now. Not appropriate. I'm glad there's not getting this. We'll get one for after the podcast. But for me, if you're coming in from that perspective, of, okay, we've got a common interest. I've maybe been, sat next to this person for a few weeks, we go every other week, whatever it is. And then from that angle, so it's not as though the only way in which you can meet people is by being direct and by, meeting someone in the street or wherever it may be and go. And for me, that would, I don't think I'd ever do that for the fear of either bringing back old memories for someone, or that could be the first memory of someone being uncomfortable. I'd like to think of myself as a nice person with good intentions, whether that's trying to get the number. However, maybe someone takes that the wrong way and they feel really, really uncomfortable to the point where any man they meet thereafter, they might go, what the hell? So I think that for me, I could be that first guy.
I will speak up. I only hear Barney's perspective on this, and then there's something that I might just unpack so you can see what we used to coach. Yeah.
Like that's my opinion, but I know there's other ways of seeing it.
Yeah. Barney, what's your take on approaching on the street?
I find in public, out and about, I find it. I think it's really good fun.
It is, yeah.
To anyone,
that's right.
Let alone girls, anyone. I think it's really fun. I think, especially to do with my job, I found it a lot easier. I'll turn up to someone's house, and before in minutes be invited in to help on lunch shopping, and having to learn how to read the room, or the hallway, or the shopping centre, and immediately kind of get the vibe from someone of what they're on about. I've found it kind of dangerously easy to do that, and I've recently been out, and I've been out with people, and I'll just snap into a conversation with someone, or I'll mention something, and then that person, my friend, my dad, they'll say, not that it's wrong.
Do you know them? Do you know them?
No, I've just met them. I was waiting outside the opticians the other day, and I just started talking about a guy mentioned something, and I just ended up having a full conversation. He didn't say much. I just kind of carried on as if I knew him. But I've become so used to that, so I find it really. I really enjoy the chiming in, and I think it's great fun because a lot of people don't expect it. I think it catches people off guard. And it's so easy to do. Yeah. Well, that's easy for me to say.
Yeah, because you're used to it.
I find it great fun.
So that I do agree with that. But are you coming in from the angle where you're wanting something out of that interaction?
No, that's
my thing. You're, other than just connecting with someone.
I think. So like I said, I think we were off air. Is that when you, from a dating perspective, and you're approaching a woman that you've seen on the street, part of it is what Barney is saying, that you get reference experiences. On my way out to a club before, we didn't stress on you need to speak to girls only. So I would start speaking to. I'll speak to the taxi. I'll speak to Baba, to the taxi driver, and really you trying to get your social juices flowing. And so literally, what Barney said was quite pivotal. Is we used to call it vibing, and you start picking up a vibe. So there's a thing we used to call pacing and leading, and yes, it became a game where if you've been in a club, there's always that girl that is really upset. Something has gone completely wrong.
Sam's fucking.
That's why.
He's really
Because you see, that's why he doesn't do it. That's it. So we started doing this thing where you go, we just say, you need to go to her and get her into a better mood. And basically, it was for us just to understand why or how you could change somebody's perspective. And we realized that you can actually pace and lead. So I would come in with the same state as her,
Yeah.
like, so like, and then
I've had a shit day
that's right, yeah. And then, or like, and we would make up. So, for instance, I would say, like, one I remember was I started speaking to this girl. She was like really down. It was like, look at all these fools. And I started, and then I was trying to feel where she was at in terms of why she was pissed off. I was like, we should be, just chilling out somewhere, whatever. And she was sort of not biting. And I was like, I'm really upset today because, I just broke up with somebody. And then so she felt like she needed to find out who, try and get an interest. Yeah.
A little bit, I guess.
So, like, she's trying to find out, oh, so your girlfriend or something? I was like, no, that's my boyfriend. I found out that he's cheating with my brother. And, so at that point, I know she knew that I was joking, but it was me having to take her from a state.
I guess take the pressure off herself.
Exactly. And there's some times when you find somebody in having a horrible time in their life and they're walking, and there's something powerful about approaching them at that point, even though when you think that it might go the other way and actually make the day.
Yes.
And part of it, what happens that the social pressure comes from the way you approach. So if she was walking and then I come into a personal space, because usually the first 2 minutes of that interaction is thinking, oh shit, why is he talking to me? All of them. Yeah, exactly. Everything. Whereas if I give us a personal space and I'm speaking, because 95% of your communication is non-verbal. So what I'm doing with my body and what I'm doing with my voice become the most important thing. So my voice calms it down, my body language calms it down. And I think that's where Bunny, when he's talking about his vibe, that he gives off chilled out, man. Just chill out. I mean, I'm cool.
When I'm not making girls crying clubs, I do that anyway. But I don't know. Again, that's something in my head, my perception of if when I hear pickup artists, we spoke about this off air quite a long time. When I hear that, maybe that's a preconception, misconception. I need to break down and get through a little bit of. It's coming at it from a seedy level, but I know from our conversations that's not how it is with you. You're going on about coming in from a real sort of human connection with them and leveling with them, and actually, that's a prejudice. So, as many daggers I've thrown at you, equally, I think actually there's a commonality in terms of the way we're viewing it. However, maybe that's my prejudices of what it is to be a pickup artist. And in any case, I don't think I could ever approach someone unless I see something in the sense of, that's interesting, that's a bit different.
But I think
rather than coming in from the angle of I want something out of this.
I like what you've said, because I think in your perspective, have you seen a girl that you think? I'm talking to Barney now.
Yeah.
Have you seen a girl and it's like she's attractive? I just want to say hello.
Barney's only just recently got his eyes tested, so no, it's all one big blur for him. So he's only needs to pick his glasses up.
But have you had an experience where you've actually approached, like romantic sense, not in romantic sense, but had a conversation and thought, oh, she's, cool.
Well, there was lots of things that you were saying that I had an idea of what I was going to say. So there was I can only approach in a way, or have the idea to approach in that way, if I myself know that I am ready to do that. So if that person is the first person I've spoken to that day, I know that I'm probably going to be like, you're right, So if I've been with a friend all day and we've been having a good conversation, or if it's the end of my shift and I've been, all my chats have gone well, and now my customers have bounced back and saying I've all been happy and friendly. Once I get back, to the store, if I'm walking out or something like that, I know that the chances of me, making a good impression in any case for anyone, not any colleague, any member of the public, any family friends I might walk into. It's what I know. I'm confident then.
There's Curry social juices, isn't there?
So social juices.
Yes, trademark that.
Actually,
Sell it.
I like what he said is that the fact that because you build that momentum, and we used to build that momentum from the time we left the house. Even if we're going for a night out, that's definitely what we'd be doing, making these small interactions, and then
those micro interactions.
that's right, exactly, the build up. Yeah,
One that will carry across in the vibe.
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Yeah,
If that person, again, this is not for experience. This is just from my social
Barney's
calculations.
pondering.
So if you're, I can 100% imagine if that boy, girl is the first person you've spoken to all evening, you will not give across. You will not naturally say what you want to say, even if you say exactly what you've got lined up in your head. You will not say that in the way that you think you're saying it. However, if you've been speaking to people, bumping into people, you've got the bus somewhere, if you've got in the cab with friends, if you've met someone new that your other friends know, and that's gone well, or you've even done that, and you've gotten over that social, not anxiety, but that lump of breaking yourself down ready for an evening or ready to go out to the pub or wherever you're going. That is already, you are so much more ready because it doesn't all rely on that one interaction. You've enjoyed speaking to other people already. Therefore, no matter what happens, even if you say the wrong thing, if you say, "Hi, I've got a green toe,"
But my genuine belief is, I think it's so powerful that, and I think it's a bit bad, but I think you can get away with saying almost with that confidence you talk about that you came from. With that and with a smile, you can say just about anything.
we did.
Anything, anything.
Again,
You can insult
we used
someone.
to say
I
that.
could
We used
sit
to,
here and throw more daggers at Curry.
That's-
But
yeah.
if I say it with a smile, doing it in a type of way, in a manner, in a confidence, and not even in the sense of to try and put him down.
Yeah.
Because I think actually you feed off of that more. The words don't matter really. I could say anything, but if I do it in the correct way, if I do it with a smile, and I do this a lot, you could get away with some really fucking cheeky stuff.
yeah,
And it's the intent. The intent, and you're
That's right.
coming at it from with a softness and level. And actually, just one thing, somewhat related to that. I think, and it's sort of a reflection. I've started doing this process of any sort of reflection I have. I'm putting them in my phone because I'd always say
That's
I'll
good.
do it on paper, but I do it on my phone now just because it's always with me. And sort of related to that, I think that confidence, that narrative that you start to tell yourself is so powerful because you then become that person that you want to be. That person is truly yourself, I guess. That interesting person with these takes and just being a bit silly with it. But I think related to that, actually one thing I realised is you must have had these kind of situations where you might be just a bit flat or whatever, and you come across someone, either someone you've known for a while or it could be a new person.
Yeah.
And they see something in you. They might just tell you, say, "Oh, you're really confident today, Barney. Like, what's?" Or they might be, "You're like, Barney, you're killing it on this." It could be you deliver.
Yeah.
And with that, it's just so powerful, that moment where you then begin to sort of buy into that narrative, even if you don't really believe it at that point yourself. You just really, that sort of faith that they put in you, you then become to build up that character. And that for me, I've realised that actually is literally the power that's within your hands to, you have however many social interactions a day. If just one of them, you just go, I've seen something in you. Someone's got.
You've done that really well.
You've
You've
done that.
You exposed that customer really, really well.
Right, and all of a sudden you go, "Oh, next customer I speak to, I'm going to hold on to that."
And it doesn't matter what I say because I speak to customers really well. And chances are, then if you haven't got that lump, you're
That's
going
right.
to be fine and you're going to enjoy it.
And it just becomes natural. And I think if people did that a little bit more, if they just targeted one person a day, and with no intent, just literally going, instilling a little bit of self-belief in someone else, even if they don't need it at that point, they might be a really confident person you see, and you just go, "Do you know what? Actually, I'm just going to go out of my way." Say, "Do you know what, Curry? Like today, Like, I love the way you dress. I genuinely do as well. Like, I think it's relaxed. No, genuinely. I'm not.
He's like,
I'm gonna.
joking.
I actually really like that zip sweat you got. Like, it's clean. Like, at the same time, you could be going out wherever.
Full of hairs.
Yeah,
Joking.
mate, I've got dog hairs on it, stuff like that. But now Curry's gonna be walking around feeling like he's got one.
That's right.
He's going to be like, do you know what? I'm like this stylish guy, and you know that doesn't necessarily have to be who Curry is, but he might just from that just get a little bit of confidence and go. Do you know what? Actually, maybe I'm stylish. Even if he left the house not even thinking about it today, maybe that just comes naturally to him. Maybe he's this stylish guy, and that's just who he is now.
I mean, it sounds so basic. Like this is the kind of like stuff that you learn.
It is basic.
Like, compliments, but you really think about it when you put it into more adult settings. Not like, oh, that's a nice hat there, sir. You know what I mean? But when you really like mean it.
That's right. I think that's the main thing when it's in a romantic sense. Where if you approach a girl on the street and then you give her a compliment, they've had compliments hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, but when you do give a compliment, it's the vibe and the intent behind. Usually, a guy would compliment, and then there's this thing where they go, "You look beautiful," and then so what I'm doing is like leaning out, like I need you to say thank you and something. Whereas if you complimented and just I'm genuinely enjoy. I don't care whether you say thank you or not. I genuinely appreciate this.
Like that hoodie, fire.
Exactly. Then at that point, it's not. Because if there's an outcome dependent, so we used to call it outcome dependency. So if you got an outcome dependent compliment, so I compliment, so I can get something in return, and then at that point it negates the whole thing.
That logic as well. I've applied that a bit to. We'll have this all the time. You'll message someone, not actually giving a shit about the message, or you're just waiting for the response. Yeah. Message someone or do something because you want to. And as well, going back to the do not disturb thing, for me, we run out of time. We cut our gold here. We've got very technical difficulties.
Oh, sugar! It's good timing here. Yeah. We should
carry on.
Yeah, we should carry on. Yeah, we'll just carry on. Yeah.
So for me, actually, with that sort of notion of just doing something because you want, because you feel as though, not as though there's any pressure for you to just want to do it. Because it comes from a good place, because you've had this thought and you've gone, right, this is where I want to put it across.
Yeah.
Do it. Don't dwell on it too much. Do it.
The building blocks of future interactions. If you know that you can, out of the blue, pop up on someone's Snapchat story or Instagram story and say, or even something you might not even know, and say, I like this, or this is a good, maybe not like comment under a photo, say,
don't have to show it to everyone. DM them. With a guy recently, I just reached out to him. I've seen he's been killing it in the gym.
Yeah.
I've never said anything to him. I've thought that so many times. I've been like, you're absolutely smashing it, mate. Maybe that's what you needed that week. Just someone, maybe just flag it up. Maybe it's just like, I've had enough. You just need someone just that little bit. Okay, someone believes in it.
And people do, when they ever put something on social media, they want that. Yeah.
I'm in hospital. And just like nothing else.
On my dinner.
About to skip
I would have. We've still got 5 minutes to.
I need to read
but,
it, so I'm going to run.
Okay.
We'll pause it and then.
Yeah, we'll pause it. Yeah, go on, guys. So, outro.
Where did we get to? What did it cut off on?
I'm not sure. We just. Yeah, quick goodbye. Good. So it cut off when we mid-flow, So thank you very much, guys, for listening. And if you want to learn more of how to approach and dating advice, join the Men of Honor Facebook group. And if you've got any question, find us on Instagram and just ask whatever you want, and then hopefully we can answer your questions on the next time. I got Barney and Sam. So we'll be back again, and then it'll be fantastic. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll be seeing you soon.